This is section 10.3, and we're going to start talking about circles and equations of circles and how to graph circles. So our two objectives here in this section are to write and graph the equation of a circle, okay, and then define the center and the radius of a circle and use them to graph it as well, okay. So first thing here as we look at this, a circle is a set of all points in a plane that are a distance r from a given point or the center of the circle. Okay, the distance r is the radius of the circle, from the center to the outside. Okay, and what they've done here is they've shown you using the distance formula how to actually calculate the center of the circle, or actually the equation of the circle. And if you'll notice here, this is the equation of the most basic parent function. Okay, this is the parent function of a circle. Okay, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. That has a center of 0, 0, okay, and a radius of r. That's, again, this is the most basic parent function, no different than a parent function of a quadratic or an absolute value or a line, any of those types of things. They're exactly the same. Now, the actual equation of a circle, okay, the actual standard form of an equation of a circle is as follows. It says the standard form of an equation of a circle is with the center of h and k and a radius of r is x minus h squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. Okay, where again h and k are the center and r is the radius. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take equations in this form, in standard form, and we're going to graph them. Okay, remember again, this is the center of the circle. Remember, h tells us how much we go right or left. K tells us how much we go up or down. And r is the radius. So, how are we going to look to graph these circles? First thing we want to do is identify the center of the graph from the equation. So as you look at the equation, the very first thing we want to do is identify the center. You're going to plot that on your graph first. Once you've identified the center, then you've got to identify the radius of the circle by taking the square root of r squared. Remember, in the equation, it's r squared, and we want r, so we're going to have to take the square root of that in order to get it. We're going to have to take the square root of r squared to get our r value. Okay? Then what you're going to do, your radius tells you how far to the outside of the circle it is from the center. So you're just going to count the number of units to the right, to the left, up, and down from your center, and then you can draw your circle. Alright, so let's take now a look at two examples. Okay, so as you look here at these examples, first thing we want to do is we want to identify the center. Okay, and the center, remember from your equation, is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, so our center is always the opposite of whatever these, or excuse me, is always, if it's positive, it's always the opposite, so it's going to be -1 and 3. That's our center. And I'm going to take and go left 1, I'm going to go up 3, and I'm going to put a dot. That's the center of my circle. Okay, the radius, remember again, we take this number here and we got to take the square root. So the square root of 25 is 5, so my radius is going to be 5 units. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here to the circle, and I'm going to go 5 units to the right, 5 units to the left, 5 units up, and 5 units down from the center. So my first point over here to the right is going to be right here, 5 units to the right of it. Then I go 5 units below, it's going to be right here. 5 units to the left, going to be right there. And 5 units above, which is going to be right here. And now you have your circle. Fill in the dots like so. And you have the equation of your circle. Okay. So as you can tell, these are not horribly complicated as we look at these now. Let's take a look at example number 2. Okay. On this one here, the center, again, the center is going to be the ordered pair 4 and -2. I've got to take the square root of this number. The square root of 49 is 7. So my radius is going to be 7 units. Okay. And if we move this over here, you'll notice that our circle is going to be a little bit off our graph, but that's okay in this case. So I'm going to go right 4. I'm going to go down to this guy right here is my center. Okay? And then I'm going to go right 7 units. So I have right 5. I go judge it to be about 2 more, about right in there. I go down 7 units. Right there. I go left 7 units, which is right here. And then I go up 7 units. Right here. And then I'm going to just draw my circle. Like so. Okay? So again, as we graph these and you're looking at graphing in these circles, you want to identify the center. Take the square root of the number that's after the equal sign to find the radius. Plot your center and then go right, left, up, and down from that center point. Okay? All right, this concludes part 1 of section 10.3, which is the graphing of circles. The next part we're going to add to is writing the equations of circles.